thank you for your fundraising and what an impact you're making in your community. And that's probably the most important thing in life, is really to be of service, to do something of value, and you're doing that. And I'm very grateful for that, and very honored to be here today. Thank you. I'd love to.
The first one that we have is from Cole Hudson. He's a 10th grader.
Where is he?
Where's Cole?
Hey, Cole, you're already in the back, right back there. All right, Cole.
His question is, what was your childhood like?
Well, it was this serious. So we did a lot of fishing, and then in the winter we used to go down and skate on the river, and then we'd go in. I remember making a big trip in Friday night into Lewiston, Auburn to go do laundry, grocery shopping, and then you'd walk around the aisles wishing you could get certain things. But I remember a lot of time on the road, cycling around, going to the bear pond, swimming, roller skating, those type of things. And really, what I miss about Maine most is being in nature and how green it is here. And it was nice to see, as I was coming over from the villages, some of those farms are still in existence, because there were a lot of apple farms when I was growing up here, and dairy farms. And of course, before they went through, used to go through the village, before I used to go through there, that's what changed. So, yeah, so I had a great childhood because I got a chance to run around and do my own thing. And, you know, Dennis Richardson and his family, and typically a lot of people that are still here, I see, and they come up every now and then. And the Nickersons used to have their little store, and they were always very good to us. And the kids, they used to give us free candy when it was actually a penny. That's not happening anymore.
So it's easy to tell a local guy when he says, I came in from the village, so that's clearly from around here. So, Izzy Gates, where's Izzy at?
Izzy, hey Izzy, what's up?
Izzy's question was, go ahead and ask it.
What's your question? Hold on, turn around and see your comments. Hey, this is Izzy, you guys all know? How has my environment changed? As far as the planet itself or the town? It's a big question.
I don't know.
Yeah, just go ahead. No, get your story.
Izzy, what? Okay, so like, basically,
I think the gist of the question was, what was the favorite job you ever had?
Favorite job? I'm sorry I missed that. I apologize. My question is very clear. So, favorite job, I had a lot of jobs. So picking up drums was really a fun job. I got to do that. And then, of course, my dad had a redemption center in the village, and I had to do that. But my favorite job was being an actor. I'm lucky to be able to do that, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, that's kind of it.
So your juggling talent has been a topic of conversation this week.
Oh, really?
It has.
Do we have any jugglers in the audience today?
We have a few.
There's one there. I'm just juggling right here.
So Manny Gabry, who's 11th grade, had a question of how did you get into juggling?
So I was going to junior high school in Buckfield High School, and the power had gone out in shop class. And the teacher by the name of Paul McKinney started juggling to keep us entertained, because we couldn't do anything on projects, had to stop because clearly we had no power. And then that's when I started. He taught me how to do the 3-ball cascade. And Mike Micklon, who's a few years younger than I was, he started juggling as well around that time as well. So that's how it started. Shop class.
He was 11th grader. Katana, I don't know where you're at, but somewhere around. Her question was, did you do theater or drama when you were in high school?
I was a terrible student. I always flunked. Like, I was like the worst student, and they would put me in all those classes that, you know, the learning disabled classes. So, no, I never did any acting in high school at all. I never got on any of those sports clubs because my grades weren't there. So it was just, I always struggled because I have dyslexia. I don't know if anybody has dyslexia here. Let's see, all right, so you know what I'm talking about. It was very hard, and at that point they really didn't diagnose it early enough to kind of get there and sort of do an intervention, so things have changed a lot. So I had to act out quite a bit, and I spent a lot of time in detention, and I learned a lot there.
So that's actually a segue into another question that we had for you. Ray Judd, who's over with the 12th graders, she's up there. Her question was, how difficult has it been reading scripts, having the dyslexia?
The reading, it takes me longer to comprehend it, you know, and then doing the table reads are the worst because I would get the script at the last minute. And the nerves will come up, and it's very hard to control your emotions in order to concentrate because you're feeling very self-conscious. Like, Izzy, when you got up, you see how it is, right? You have all these people watching you. You have to learn how to block that out. So it's a technique that you learn how to get comfortable, but it's something that I've always struggled with to this day. The hardest thing for me in the acting is understanding and having the discipline to sit down and read the script, making notes, and then working harder than anybody else to be off books that I know the lines so well that I can have anything happen in front of the camera or around me and I won't be distracted.
So back to the acting.
Okay.
I want to combine two questions. So we had Roma Hutchinson, who's an 11th grader, she's around here somewhere. And then we had Aaliyah Clark, who's a 10th grader, who's over here somewhere. And without doing theater or drama in high school, how did you get your foot in the door with acting? And how did you decide that's what you wanted to do?
So I wanted to be a ski racer. So I did a lot of ski racing, started in Lost Valley, and I won the state championship because I could do, you know, at school I couldn't do very well, but in athletics I was always very competitive. I could shine there, I could get my confidence there, I could be recognized. So once I learned how to juggle, Paul McKinney was with this group of vaudevillians called Buckfield, Leather, and Lather, and I started performing with them. And then I did like a semi-professional show in Lewiston. It was on Golden Pond with Lou Alessio, the main acting company. And that's how I started. And then I think around age 17, Tilton's Market in Buckfield gave me enough money, along with some other people, to go to New York to do this talent competition. I had to do a 3-minute juggling competition, and I won it, and I got an agent, lied about my age, dropped out of high school, and then went to New York to do Short Song Trilogy. And that's how it started. It happened very quickly. And I have kids now. Can you imagine being in New York on your own at age 17? I was completely on my own trying to figure it out, and I had a job, thank goodness. And then that's really where my education began. It's just coming from rural Maine into Manhattan and then into San Francisco, being in the city, I learned a lot very quickly. And figured I was like, I'm not going to go back home to Maine until I make it. I remember that. That was a hard decision because I was on my own completely.
That's a steep learning curve.
It was very steep. But, I was very fortunate, that things unfolded the way they did. I can't believe it sometimes. I'm just shocked.
Sandy Struckman is a senior, and her question for you is, do you still keep in touch with any of your former cast members?
Well, it's funny because you run into them in random places, so yes, you do, but it's so nomadic to begin with, this profession, is that you won't see people for 5 or 6 years, and then you'll see them, and then you just pick up a relationship right where you start off.
Jace Cabrera, also a senior. Jace, where are you at? Jace is up there.
That's not bad.
Jace's question is around stunts. Have you done any of your own stunts?
So it's tricky because we're in the middle of a strike, so I can't talk about too much, but I can talk about a Ferrari movie. Okay. So to me, this was the best movie I've ever done in my life. Number one, I was working in Italy, and I was driving really cool cars, and I got to do all the stunt driving with all the stunt drivers, and that was the best. It was scary, it was fun, and it was. It takes place in 1957, so it's like you step back in time. So to be able to do all of that and to bring both of my passions together was really cool. So yeah, I have done some, but not like Tom Cruise. He's like super cool when you get to do all this stuff.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Next question is from Cambry Cutter, who's sitting right over there. And I know you can't say any specifics, but how many movies have you been in?
Yeah, I think it's 47 movies. That's not counting TV shows. Yeah. I know, right? It's crazy. I have 40 years in business now, but I started when I was 17 production.
That's crazy. Let's see. Bradley Dupile. Bradley, where are you at? Bradley?
Hey, Bradley. Dude, look at your hair.
Bradley's question goes back to high school. What was your favorite part of high school?
Getting out of high school. It was interesting because right when I moved from Turner to Buckfield, it was junior high school, so I missed junior high school, and I missed all my friends that I had grown up with. It was hard. High school was very hard. It's a hard period of time to be in, I think. So I don't know if I missed any of it. I just was happy to get out of it and get away from it as much as possible because it was such a struggle. The only time I had the time is if I was competing or, shot class or something.
Julia Gruber, 11th grader, was Julia. Julia's right there. Her question is, what is your best piece of advice for students soon to be graduating high school?
Wow.
Not to put you on the spot.
No, I think this is an important question because I talked about it a little bit. I think, what's your intention? What do you want to do in life? Find the best people and work with them. And keep listening to books, or reading books, and educating yourself because your education never stops.
I got some, this is hard-nosed journalism right here.
Okay, good.
And this question comes from Ashlee Holbrook. Ashlee, where are you at? Right there. Are you a dog person or a cat person?
I like both. I think it's in the combination is really quite funny. When you get a kid and a puppy together, they grow up together, it's really fun. But I like having both. And certainly having animals in the house is really important. Right.
So this is more hardcore journalism right here.
Okay, we're going back.
This is from Ava Parkin. I don't know where Ava's at. Ava's right there. She's very excited to ask her question. Do you, Anna Kendrick, and Stephen King have a main celebrity club where you meet up?
I've never met Stephen King. I've auditioned for his movies. I've never gotten one.
So let's talk a little bit about the Dempsey Center.
Yes, the Dempsey Center.
So what inspired you to create the Dempsey Center?
So my mother was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 1997. I don't know if anybody in this room has been affected by cancer or they themselves. Do we have any cancer survivors here? No? Great. You? Okay. And up here in the corner. So once you find out that information, it's so overwhelming and so scary. Thank God my sister Mary, who is here, was working at the hospital and really understood the inner workings of what was going on with the doctors, what my mother needed. I felt completely helpless, and I wasn't here. It was very hard. My other sister, Alicia, is here too. I wanted to be able to help and support. And I remember many years, like 5 years later, I started to get some recognition on the show that became very popular. And people asked me, what do you stand for? Your mother has cancer, I was there for a cancer event, and then I was exposed to what's called wraparound care, or integrated medicine. What that means is you're not treating the disease itself, you're treating the person. And I was like, oh, this is great. So I remember calling Mary and I go, is there anything like this in our community? Because I think Mom could benefit from this. And she said no. And then we sort of did some asking around, and it was Carrie Irish, right? I think of them originally. And that's how it started. And then I was like, you know what? I got some great advice at the theater at Mom, and they were like, don't forget where you come from. Always remember where you come from. You can't run away from it. It's like coming back here, it's like I'm running into myself again in a different part of myself. And all of you are an extension of that, right? So that's how it started. It's like, what can we do for the community? And we built it very slowly. We had a little room, maybe sort of see 10 or 15 people trying to get the word out because people thought we were curing the disease or we were in research. But that wasn't what we were doing. So what we do is, when someone's been impacted by cancer, whether it's the patient themselves or the family member, we provide services that support them. And it's no cost. So they don't have to pay for a thing. And that's what's so important about what you've done here with the money that you've raised last year and this year. You make it possible for people to get treated, and they don't have to worry and have the anxiety how they can pay for it. So we treat the person who's been diagnosed, the family, whatever they need, through nutrition, through Reiki, acupuncture, mindfulness, meditation, anything. And basically, we sort of go, what do you need? How can we help you get that? And I said this before, to be of service, God bless you, is really the best because you're working with people who are doing something that's not about the ego. You're doing about what is the right thing to do for this person. And that's what we need to be. That's what we need to meet people.
This next question comes from Dominic Toscano. Where's Dom at? Dom's up there, and I think this is somewhat of a, he's asking on purpose. Are you going to be present on Saturday? Yes. If so, would you be willing to go on stage and play and sing a song with Camp of Rock? Are you in Camp of Rock? That's what I figured.
you know what? I can't play anything, and my voice is terrible. But go ahead, what do you want to say? I can. All right, I'll get up on stage with you. I'll do one song, and we'll do something.
Awesome. Lydia McLean, where's Lydia at?
Hey, Lydia.
Her question is, who's the coolest person you've ever met?
Who's the coolest person I've ever met? Kristen Stewart's pretty cool. I mean, she's really down to earth and just her own person. Drew Barrymore, you know, I think he's really an amazing person as well. Very kind, very humble. Some actors not so much, but most people, I think, Michael Fassbender, he also racist, he's a cool guy. I don't really hang out with a lot of celebrities, but sports stars, the coolest guy I've ever met and the nicest person is Messi. I don't know if anybody's into football. Dude, this man is the most gracious sports star I've ever run into. So kind. Like, he can come to you and say hello to you. He can't speak any English. But he's kind, and he's humble, and he's brilliant. And that was impressive to me. It's great to see what he's doing for soccer in this country right now. It's incredible.
He's great.
Yeah, phenomenal man.
Last one, and there's one.
You guys can all go home for the weekend.
What is your proudest achievement?
I think, without question, it's the Dempsey Center. That is it. That, without question. I think of all the things that I've achieved, this is the one that is the most important and the most meaningful.